Good afternoon, everyone. Hope that you are having a great day today. It is late April, but it is rather brisk outside, but awful sunny. So, there you have it. There's the day's weather report. Today, I want to talk to you for a brief moment about pausing. You know, we live in an instant age. Everything happens in an instant. And sometimes that's good, but sometimes that's bad. The other week I was thinking about I was watching some old. It's a long story. I'm trying to curtail it here. I was watching an old feed of breaking news of the Kennedy assassination, and as I was watching it, it occurred to me that probably one of the worst things that ever happened to the United States is 24-hour cable news. Because it does not give us time to pause. We have to react. We have to react very quickly. We have to react very ignorantly most of the time. The news breaks and someone's got to be on there to talk about it, even if they don't know all the facts. And because you don't know all the facts, you're going to have to conjecture. And the more you conjecture, the more you are going to infuse lies within, and that's all you can say is infuse lies in the narrative. You might not think they're lies at the time, but they will be proven to be such over time. And once that Pandora is out of the box, it's kind of hard to put it back in. I think I've told you all before about the early news reports of the woman saying there was somebody on the grassy knoll in Dallas in '63. She also said that there was a dog in the middle of the street, and there's no dog that I've ever seen on the Zapruder film in the middle of the street. So, why am I talking about all this today? Well, I'm talking about all this because as I have been thinking toward the summer, it has impressed upon me that in the basic structure of how God wants us to live out our lives, He has inserted a pause. A pause. It's supposed to be the Sabbath. Sabbath is to be a day of rest, yes. It's to be a day of reflection, yes. But it's also to be a day of pause. And I think we would be better suited in our world today if we practice, and I've seen this said many times before, if we practiced a pause. A pause, P-A-U-S-E, in which we took the time to think, in which we took the time to discern, in which we took the time to understand all that is going on around us. And instead of reacting ignorantly, reacting quickly, we just paused. That's hard to do. That is hard to do. I confess that is very hard to do. Sometimes I don't practice the pause at all. And generally I find when I don't practice the pause, I get into all sorts of trouble. But practicing the pause, in other words, practicing a Sabbath, not just on Sunday, but in all these other issues, will help us regain some semblance of perspective and understanding about our world. And so my encouragement to you today is to practice the pause. Be less reactionary. Be more informed. Be more discerning. Don't get pulled in to those who have to fill the space because they have 24 hours of coverage they have to fill in. I don't know if any of you ever listen to sports radio. I occasionally do if I'm in the car and something is going on. But what always amazes me about sports radio is they talk about the most arcane and useless things. Things that don't really matter in the world, but they spend a whole lot of time doing it. Why? Because they've got to fill that 3-hour slot. Practice the pause. I think you and I, and certainly our society, would be better for it if we did just that. And in that way, we move ourselves forward in keeping the Sabbath better, in the intentions of the Sabbath. Just some thoughts. Remember, beloved, in all that you think through, may grace abound to and through you. I'll see you later this week. Until then, take care.